Hey everyone, it's Mr. Greenwood, and I'm here with another tutorial video to kind of get you started on the language of geometry. Geometry comes from the words geo, which means earth, and metry for measure, so the measure of the earth. And this study of mathematics, I guess, was created by a guy named Euclid, and he lived in ancient Greece about 2,000 years ago, and he came up with a way to describe parts of the world and how to describe the world in 2 and 3 dimensions. And so the branch of geometry we study is called Euclidean geometry, which is named after him. And there's a street near Rogers in the neighborhood that's called Euclid, named after the same guy as well. So this kind of shows what kind of impact he had on the world. So we're going to talk today about some basic language of geometry that he kind of came up with so we can describe things. So here's some terms. The first term is called a point. And so a point, it's a dot in space that's represented by a capital letter. So if we're describing things, so a point, if I draw a little dot with my mouse, we're going to label the capital letter. We'll call it point A. Yeah, I'm drawing with my mouse, so it might not look great. So point A. I can do other points, point B, and so on. Okay. The next thing after a point is a line. So a line, it's the set of all points in a straight continuous path. So if we think about a point being just a spot, a dot in space, a line is a set of a whole bunch of points all strung together going in 2 directions. And notice it extends forever in both directions. That's an important thing to remember. So if I have 2 points here, we'll call them point C. Actually, I'm going to put my C below it. You'll see why here in a second. And point D. So if you've heard that old statement, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and that kind of comes from this. So I'm going to do my best to draw, ooh, that's not too bad, a straight line. Okay, so the arrows represent that the line goes on forever. Okay. From there, let's scroll on up. So the next thing we'll talk about is a line segment. And so if you know the word segment, just kind of means part. So a line segment is a set of points between 2 endpoints. So we're looking really just at the part of a line that we specifically want to talk about. So if I have 2 points, let's call them A and F. Line segment AF would go from A to F. That's what the picture would look like. So we're not concerned about like a line that extends forever in both directions. We just want the part between the 2 points. Okay. The next, grabbed the wrong thing there, sorry. The next thing is called a ray, which is kind of a hybrid between a line segment and a line. So it's going to be the set of points with one endpoint and extends forever in one direction. So you think about line goes both ways, segment stops in both directions, and a ray is going to go forever in one direction. So there's my ray. We'll call this B, C. And now I'm just arbitrarily or randomly picking letters. It doesn't really matter. I just can't repeat a letter in a diagram, and we'll talk more about that as we get going here. And we'll pretend that's a straight line. Bear with me. Or here's ray D, E. Okay. So we've got a ray going this way, a ray going this way. Rays can go any direction, but we have to have one endpoint, B or E in this case, and that extends forever in one direction. It goes past D this way, it goes past C that way. All right, and lastly, we have a plane. And so really a plane, I just want you to know what the concept of a plane is. It's a 2-dimensional surface with no thickness that extends forever in both directions. And really, I think I don't want that. I think I like better if we say extends forever in all directions. See if it'll let me change it. Yeah, I like that better. So it extends forever in all directions. So usually when we draw a plane, we draw a parallelogram shape like this. And it has to be named by 3 points on the plane. So we call this point A, point B, trouble with the mouse, and point C. Okay. The other thing is sometimes you see like a fancy script letter in the corner. We'll call point R, or plane R, excuse me, not point. So points represented by a dot. The plane can be named by 3 points. So we could call this plane, and you actually just read out the word just like you did with point. Plane A, B, C. That was my dog. He says hi. Okay, that's all I've got for this short one. We'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.